Right now, though, on this young man's mind, Ricky Carmichael, they call him a star of the future, but he's much more than that here in Pontiac, Michigan. The fans go wild when they see this young man on the track. And the reason? Well, he's got a 49-point lead in the Suzuki point standings. That means that all he needs is 1 point tonight to be crowned 125 East champion. Robbie Raynard in second, Sellards, Lytle, and Neese rounding out the top 5. But David Bailey, more history for Mitch Payton and his pro circuit crew, headlined by Ricky Carmichael tonight.
Well, this man right here has brought up so many 125 champions, only to lose them to the big factory teams. And he's got to be proud of what he's built over there at Pro Circuit. And Carmichael is his latest guy, putting money in his pocket.
So Ricky Carmichael right now needs only the 1 point to clinch his first Pro Supercross plate. He's proud of his season.
This year has gone, excellent for me. Totally different rider, Supercross, a lot smarter, smoother. My speed was there last year, and my speed's here this year. And, I'm proud of myself that I could be smart and, and capitalize on the things I did wrong last year. And I think that, doing good in Supercross is going to help my momentum, in the drive going in the outdoors. I have nothing but, good confidence, and this year's been great.
Ricky Carmichael heads back to the starting gate as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid now and all the riders that have made the 125 main event. Ricky's pretty much just dominated, well, he has dominated this entire field on the 125 East and winning every race so far. Never before in 125 Eastern history has a rider won 7 in a row to start the season. And if RC wins tonight, he would break Damon Huffman's 125 West and his own 125 East record of 6 straight wins to start a season.
Starts have been tough for him, though, Art. You see him right here just one last time trying to get a start.
Chad Watts. Let's check in if Chad has much to say to his rider. Usually he's very precise and doesn't use very many words.
He was just having a word there with Johnny O'Mara. Here comes Ricky. We'll see if they have a chat.
Okay, buddy. Let's go and start. Go out there and ride your own race. Race track like any other race. Have fun and come out champion.
Have fun and come out a champion for the young man from Florida, Ricky Carmichael. It's possible for him to break all the existing 125 seasonal win marks, which includes Doug Henry's consecutive win streak in 1993 of 7 in a row. Here's Robbie Raynard, the big contender.
He's lined up all the way to the inside, too, Art. A little bit of a gamble there. He's going to try to tuck it around the inside.
Robbie, who had a very disappointing race in the last matchup at St. Louis, a crash, casing a triple in the first lap, did not finish that race, and thus did not score any points, ending up in 21st.
That's very unfortunate, but I did like to see the fact that he was trying. He tried to go right out there and attack Carmichael in the beginning. That's what you got to do.
He has 4 seconds on the season. Ford is sideways. We're ready to go for the 125 main event from Pontiac, Michigan. Once again, Carmichael now is in the second tier, but he's on the inside. Good positioning.
Right behind Raynard. You saw him get over there and get his leg out and protect. Make sure nobody got to the inside of him.
Whoa, the best start of the season for Casey Lytle, number 33, Honda of Troy rider. Right behind him is Brock Sellers. Brock, he'd like to move up from 3rd to 2nd place in the point standings with Robbie Raynard behind him.
Well, this couldn't have taken off much better. Have these young kids that are trying to work their way up and challenge Carmichael out with the lead right now, and Carmichael and Raynard in a battle behind him. That'll let them have a little bit of a breather for a lap or two, I would imagine.
It sure will, because Lytle has had 2 bad races in a row after a pretty doggone good start. A 14th place in his last race. Has got a good shot at a podium finish. He had his only podium of the season in the opening race of the year, a 3rd. And look at the battle here. Ricky Carmichael just looks at him in the eye and goes right by him.
Yeah, well, he set that up by squaring the corner before the finish line, squared the one right after it, and Raynard made a small mistake exiting the corner. Carmichael looked over just to make sure they didn't hit. I would imagine. I don't think he would have tried to do that on purpose.
Ricky Carmichael now has got His eyes set on Brock Sellards in second place, and Chad Watson, just flow with it, go with the racetrack, race the track, not whoever's out in front of you.
Focus on your own race. Sometimes you get sort of hypnotized into doing what the guys in front of you are doing, and you don't ride your potential. He just wants him to focus on going as fast as Carmichael can go, and so far this year, that's been faster than everybody else.
Well, especially when Ricky only needs 1 point. You know, you don't want to risk anything. Going down.
Watch this line. He goes out wide to try to get a little different run. Got to be careful, though, because Raynard's still right there.
And Raynard is so hungry for a win. Oh, they almost touch.
Now Raynard's starting to work on Carmichael a little bit.
Oh, Carmichael goes down.
Now we got a race.
He comes back out of it in 5th position with a bar-to-bar situation now with Paul Curry.
Well, this reminds me of how Hannah used to be. He'd go down, get the crowd into it, because they know he's got the potential to get back up there. Watch right here. He goes for the inside. Raynard goes wide, tries to set something up. Sticks that front wheel right into that rut, because he got tucked up, or hung up on that tough box as well.
Yeah, it's tougher than he thought, maybe, huh?
But he jumped back on the bike, didn't lose a position other than to Raynard. Wasn't even on it still. He was already going. That's what Hannah used to do. He's
in 4th place, but he's 9 seconds behind the leader, and that leader was Casey Lytle.
All over the place. That's a tricky section right there. We've talked about how technical it is here tonight. Starting to take its toll already. Now, what an opportunity for Raynard, keeping the pressure on Carmichael.
This has been a big learning year for both those riders that are out in front of Robbie Raynard. And they've pretty much been rivals all season long, looking for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th place finishes in the point standings. The 125 main event from the Silverdome. Lytle, Sellards, Raynard, Carmichael, and Goodman on the Suzuki leaderboard. We'll be right back. Get out now with number 33. That's Casey Lytle for the lead. Raynard to the inside, and Raynard goes off the track. Here comes Carmichael, number 6. Out in front is Casey Lytle. Carmichael now moving into 2nd place.
This crowd absolutely loves this kid. I can't remember a crowd being so much for a rider, so excited. They watch every move he makes. Same thing they used to do for Bob Hannah when he first came into the sport. They loved him.
Look at another one now. Raynard, number 21.
Well, he just is trying to work his way down the inside. You see these guys getting danced all around. His front wheel hit one of those bumps it wasn't supposed to hit. Did a good job to keep it upright, though. He's still in it.
And so Casey Lytle, a California young man riding for Honda of Troy, with 11 laps to go, all kinds of time. Ricky Carmichael not only wants to nail down a championship here tonight, his first Supercross #1 plate in the professional ranks, but also he wants to keep that win streak alive.
I'll bet you the hair is standing up on the back of Lytle's neck right now because he can feel it.
The fans are standing up, anticipating a move, but look at that. Lytle just won't give in. Good toughness by Casey.
Right, did a good job. All Ricky wanted to do in there was get in there and intimidate him a little bit, try to pressure him into mistaking. He was only able to go for the double right there. I think maybe last year he'd have tried for the triple. But he's a little smarter. He takes his time and he picks his place to make the move. What a bad break for Raynard. Boy, he had it going, had a great opportunity to make this a real battle. Force Carmichael to work extra hard, and I think Carmichael still can be pushed to the point where he'll make mistakes like he did last year. You just got to be going a lot faster to push him into that mistake now.
Carmichael concentrating on gaining that #1 plate. The crowd rising to their feet once again on every move, and Ricky Carmichael then takes over the lead. So it might be good night, Irene. So long, Ricky Carmichael, as far as Casey Lytle is concerned right here. Lytle is going to try to hold on, but I just don't think he has the speed.
Well, the best thing he can do is to try to stay with him as long as possible, keep his cool, not worry about it.
For his best finish of the year, as we see Brock Sellards in 3rd, Raynard back up and moving now in 4th.
Raynard's got a shot at the podium. I don't think that mistake took a lot out of him. A lot of times you go down, that'll take something out of you, and it's hard to regroup. But here, he's got a chance.
Brock Sellards, number 36, is only 6 points from 2nd place in the point standings. And as we mentioned, he's coming off his best finish, that 2nd place finish in St. Louis. Seemed like after his hand injury healed, as he tries to hold off Raynard, he's gotten terrific starts. Let's go down now Davey Combs is with Chad Watts, Ricky Carmichael's mechanic.
You guys nervous at all at the beginning? Of course, a little bit, but falling down. I think he's just a little anxious considering the situation tonight. So he just needs to settle down and ride his own race.
Yeah, of course he'd be anxious. He's won an outdoor title, but not an indoor title. And he could do it here tonight.
As Ricky Carmichael starts to pull away in first place, we see the battle for third now with Sellards and Raynard. Raynard started off the season, David, with a second place. Then he took an 8th in Atlanta and set him back a bit. But then 3 straight second places, and he was within 24 points of Ricky Carmichael. But then, of course, the 21st in St. Louis took him out of the points chase.
Yeah, he's even if he makes the pass on Sellards and Lytle and gets second, which would be a great ride, he's still going to go back to the pits with his head down, going, man, I had an opportunity there and made a mistake, and it cost me. You can't make those kinds of mistakes against Carmichael. And yet, looking at what Carmichael did, he did make a mistake and went down and was still able to recover. That's how good he is.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, as this 125 main event continues. We'll be right back. Here's your Suzuki League. In place is Casey Lytle. But we're looking at the battle for third right now. Robbie Raynard still has not been able to get around Brock Sellards, number 36 of FMF.
Sellards doing a good job here, and that second place last weekend gave him a lot of confidence. The third in Daytona, we talked about, you know, I think we even asked him, can he run with Carmichael? Does it bum you out that you guys were together in the amateurs and now he's got all the attention? And he said, no. It was a very mature answer saying, my time will come. I'll just keep putting the pressure on. And I'll learn as much as I can. Hopefully, you know, I'll be up there towards the end of the season and the beginning of next.
Sellards has been able to cut the angles off. This time he can't get the thrust out of the corner, and Robbie Raynard will move into that position. So Raynard now in third, but a long, long way from second place.
Every time Carmichael, who just went by on the triple going the other way, gets close to that triple on both sides of the stadium, the entire crowd stands up, beating on the seats, waiting for him to do something fancy. He'll wait till the end.
Carmichael, Lytle, Raynard, Sellards, Curry, Bentley. That'll give you an idea who has the up-front positions as we take a look at number 21 on the Primal Suzuki, Robbie Raynard.
He's got that whole straightaway right there. We can see up ahead to Casey Lytle, so he knows where he is and what he's got to do. He's got his job cut out, but it's possible he could still catch up to him and get second.
Our Honda stopwatch will give us an indication as to the time between Ricky Carmichael and number 33, Casey Lytle, about a 9.1. And here is Robbie Raynard in third with Brock Sellards in fourth.
That's growing about 2 seconds a lap, too. And Carmichael's lap times will probably even get a little bit better, where everybody else's will start to fade off just a little bit.
As we take a look at the Honda stopwatch and your favorite rider going through the screen in the 125 Eastern Division, Ricky Carmichael came here to Pontiac with the knowledge that they had agreed with his mentors not to race at Dallas. Now, there was some consideration of racing a 250 at the Dallas Supercross at Texas Stadium. But preparations for the 125 National Outdoors, they felt a lot more important. Ricky Carmichael, a 1:66.
About average. It's a little bit longer lap time here in the Silverdome because they go up in the stands and the configuration of the track, zigzagging back and forth, they got a little longer lap time out of it. And it actually took me a little while to figure out which way everything was going, but it's definitely giving the riders all they can handle.
This is such a technical track. It's really a test of endurance, especially with a lighter, less powered bike like a 125, I think, David.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, but I think it's actually a little better. Watching the way Carmichael handles some of these sections, because the bike's a little lighter,
okay,
he's able to get in and out of some of those tight situations, and there are a lot of them, especially leading up to the finish line. Muscle that bike around a little bit better. With a 250, there's so much more inertia, so much more gyro with that extra weight.
You have to look out for the power.
Yeah.
Ricky Carmichael up the turns, the peristyle, and comes back down. Goes over that little hippity hop at the end, which will slow you down real quick. Well, Carmichael is what I would say is a great insurance policy for Supercross's future.
Yes.
You know, you've got Ezra Lusk and Kevin Windham now banging on the door with Jeremy McGrath out in front in the 250 class. But as we take a look at Paul Curry in 5th place, Ricky Carmichael has just got to excite the fans with the idea of advancing to the 250 ranks. Less than 3 laps remaining here with the 125 main as the fans anticipate crowning a champion.
Curry still hanging on to that position, actually pulling away a little bit now from Bentley. That close. I think, you know what excites me about it too, Art, is that when you look at Windham and Carmichael and Lusk, those guys are pretty serious, pretty dedicated. I'm not saying that Jeremy's not dedicated, but Jeremy is just so naturally talented that he can go out and have a little bit of fun and party a little bit and still get those results. And I just hate to see that really set the standard, where now you got Carmichael coming in, kind of like Bob Hanna did in the 70s, a lot more serious and dedicated all week long. And that will set the standard in the years to come, I guarantee it, because this kid is going to win a lot.
Paul Curry did not qualify last week, number 50, as we just get off of him and go back to our leader, Ricky Carmichael.
Hard work. He's got a lot of natural talent, and he just fuels that with so much training during the week. And when he's on the starting line, he doesn't have even a tiny bit of doubt creeping in that helmet.
David, it's interesting in hearing Jeremy McGrath talk about Ricky Carmichael. Was Carmichael waving to the fans?
He's just having fun.
That's what I had. Plus 2 laps, plus 8, smart.
Another wave for the fans over there. McGrath saying, hey, I wasn't as aggressive as Ricky Carmichael was as a 125 rider, especially in the national outdoors. I just couldn't do it. He was better.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember watching Jeremy in the 125 outdoors, and he had so much success indoors. I thought, boy, wait till we see him at the nationals. And he just never really found his rhythm out there on the 125. But it actually took him a little while in 250 as well. Jeremy is much better. He definitely shows preference, and you can see it in his results and looking over the past. He likes the indoors.
Final lap for Ricky Carmichael, and the championship crown and the streak could be still alive before we go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Ricky Carmichael has won every race this season. His biggest challenge, New Orleans, when he made the incredible move of winning the LCQ to make the main event to keep his life streak alive. The checkers for Carmichael, the new 125 Eastern champion, Chad Watts. And the flashbulbs pop in the Silverdome for the young champion.
Not far to go, just giving these fans, I mean, they have shown so much appreciation to him. He's just giving it back, savoring this moment. He'll take that number 6 off next year. It'll be a great big number 1.
We might have a show after the checker flag here.
Undoubtedly. He'll take a parade lap and give him a little bit more.
Chad Watts, who puts in so many hours, congratulated by Kevin Windham. And the checkered flag for Ricky Carmichael.
Good luck.
The checkers awaiting the rest of our finishers. Casey Lytle, Robbie Raynard in 2nd and 3rd.
Hey, thanks to all your guys for help. We're done without you.
Ricky Carmichael, our new 125 Eastern champion, regains the momentum for Mitch Payton in the pro circuit. And Ricky will be going now for the triple. Oh, my goodness.
You know, I've never seen anybody get upside down. I mean, I'm sitting above him, and I'm still seeing the bottom of that bike. He's feeling it.
Good ride, man.
We're going to do it again for the guys on the other side. Jeez.
Amazing, the talent that this young man possesses.
You know, that all the guys for the 250s coming up are on the starting line going, whoa, did you see that?
You know, it's ironic, David.
Gotta win them all now.
Ricky Carmichael was eliminated from the 125 Eastern Crown race right here at Pontiac last year. And he comes back this year with maturity, patience, as well as speed to take the title.
know, what was cool was going through the pit signal area. A lot of the other mechanics had congratulations on their pit boards as well. Everyone likes this kid, you know, that's what's neat. There's a new one.
He's going through all his repertoire right now.
He seems to, that bag of tricks gets deeper and deeper. He jumped off and let go of everything that time.
7 for 7, breaks the win streak to start a season, ties the all-time 125 win streak that Doug Henry put together. Let's listen in.
Good job, man. Good job. Low.
We'll be right back and hear from Ricky Carmichael after these words.
Here's what the bottle says.
Back at the Silverdome, where Ricky Carmichael has just put a capper on a championship here with a victory over Casey Lytle. Robbie Raynard also on the podium. Brock Sellards in 4th, and Paul Curry, a good run for Paul to get into the top 5. And as we take a look at 6 through 10, the finishers here in Pontiac, let's go down to Davey Combs, I know, who's very anxious to talk to the young man who has just won a championship.
Okay, I'm down here with Ricky Carmichael, 1998 125cc East Region champion. Got something for you here. Nice new shiny #1 plate. Congratulations, Rick.
Thanks, Davey. This #1 plate's what it's all about, man. There's nothing like having one of these on your mantle at home, man. It feels great. 7 in a row. I couldn't be happier. Thanks to Kawasaki, Bridgestone Tires, Oakley, Haxo, Kawasaki, Pro Circuit, 1-800-COLLECT. If it wasn't for those guys, man, I wouldn't be able to do it. My mom and dad, my mechanic, Chad Wass, Shawnee O'Mara, Saito Max, man, everybody.
I'll tell you what, you've learned how to play a crowd better than I've seen anyone since, well, Jeremy McGrath. Some of those cross-ups at the end were insane.
I don't know. I try to put on a good show, and it's been a while since I got a good one lately, and glad I could do it.
All right, one last question. We know we talked about it earlier. Still no word on Dallas, or just no Dallas at all?
Do it. No Dallas at all. We don't really have that much time to test, and it wouldn't be 100%, so I don't know. No time.
Well, we'll look for you in the 125 Showdown in Las Vegas.
Thank you.
I don't know, it looked like the look in his eyes said, I wish I could, though, try it anyway. As right now he takes that plate home with him after a tremendous effort this year. In fact, he's still one more race remaining. As we take a look at the top 5 Suzuki point standings, the order remains the same after this race. Carmichael, Raynard, Sellards, Lytle, where even though Lytle took 2nd place in this race and inches up closer to Brock Sellards. Well, as the Ricky Carmichael celebration, the show continues here at the Silverdome. We're anticipating next coming up the 250s with Jeremy McGrath, Ezra Lusk, and Kevin Windham.
Are you ready for more?
Up-and-comer. Lusk stayed up for 2nd place. McGrath picked off, remounting for 4th, and time